Hey everyone, my name is David Bidell. Welcome to my personal channel, Social's Awkward. Today, I'm talking with my good friend and fellow T-Rex owner, Danny, about what it's like being 1 year in to T-Rex ownership. Let's go. As I said, I've got Danny on the phone with me live today. He lives in the New Jersey area, and he rides a 2022 Gulf Orange and Black 1400 RR.
That's correct, David. Hi.
All right, man. Thanks for taking some time to talk with me today.
Thanks for having me, brother.
When did you first hear about the brand? When did you get into the T-Rex?
You were in the hip hop music when you were younger, DMX and the whole Rough Riders crew.
Oh, yeah, that's
That was the
right.
first time I ever saw one.
Okay.
And I had no idea what they were, but I was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
I felt the same way. So the first time I saw one was on an episode of MTV Cribs.
Rob Dyrdek
Was
had
it?
one.
And he had it over in the corner, and they just did like a pan, like a still pan over. And I was like, what is that thing? And so I was like,
How long ago that was?
what is that? What is it? What is that machine? But I've wanted one since then. It's interesting that, we've been fans for so long and wanted them for so long. And as fortune would have it, we both ended up purchasing T-Rexes at almost the exact same time, which is pretty crazy.
Literally about a week apart.
About a week apart. Yeah, and I love your they call it a Gulf Orange, right?
Yes.
Oh man, what a sharp.
Which yours is Gulf Blue, right?
And Gulf Blue, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's
and they're not colors that you see. That I've seen many oranges in T-Rexes, especially once I was able to find one in that color, and that was all she wrote.
Man, that orange and black combination, it just works on this T-Rex. It's really, really nice. And your frame is black, right?
My frame's black. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Everything's black. Everything goes together with the orange and black.
Oh, I love it. Just wanted to ask maybe a couple of questions to help maybe some people who are interested in having a go at a T-Rex, or if it's like, is this just going to be another toy? Am I going to be bored of this thing in a week? But tell us how often did you ride this year?
Anything that you're going to get that's going to be a toy, you are limited in your time that you're going to get to ride it. Mm-hmm. But if you're making a purchase like this, you're also probably going to look for reasons to ride it and want to find reasons to ride it.
That's true.
Than, I don't want to do this at all. You're not going to put it off like a honey-do list. You're going to look for every possible outlet to get out there, right?
Oh, we need milk?
And that's
I'm on
pretty
it.
much. Yeah. You want me to go to a store? I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you want to take the T-Rex? Sure, honey, we can take the T-Rex. And the moment we got a 50-degree day, I was out, and I was trying to be out in it, and I was, as interested to learn as much as I could about it, and get out there and learn it, own it, not be afraid of it. So the more time behind the wheel, the better and more confident of a rider you're going to be. I drove it to work. I drove it at night. I wanted to drive it all different hours. Mm-hmm. I drove long distances.
I was the same. I think you made a really, really good point. I feel the same. When you said, I don't want to be afraid of this thing, and that's how I feel about the T-Rex too. I want to be a very competent and confident rider. So just like you, I chose any excuse I could. I wanted to take my T-Rex where I was forced to put it in reverse or go up a steep incline or, bank to the right real hard, or, just put myself in kind of more technical situations.
Unfortunately, you have to know your area really well. You know your area. So, and I know you did this too. And it was funny when I was watching one of your previous videos, learning how this thing takes bumps.
Yeah.
Knowing, because I never rode anything with 3 wheels like you hadn't before getting this. So
right.
Learning how to get that pothole right next to your front tire so you're not hitting it with your back tire. Learning how to do those things. The brakes, I found the brakes on mine to take some getting used to.
Me too. Yeah, me too. It was my biggest complaint actually at first.
Yeah, me too. I thought the brakes I was like, I don't like the brakes at all, right? That was my first complaint.
Mine, yeah, I felt exactly the same way. Yeah, so Campagna was a Ford F1 racing guy. And the whole idea is to make it feel like F1 racing. And that's immediately what you learn, that brakes in an F1 atmosphere feel different than, a Toyota Camry or a, whatever it is you're like normally driving. And now, if you ask me at the end of the season how I feel about the brakes, I'm wild about them.
They're not like a car. There's nothing mechanical to them.
Right.
And they don't want them to lock up when you're like driving a go-kart that doesn't have anything manual.
Exactly.
Or mechanical to it. They don't want them to lock up on you.
Everything about the T-Rex like brings you into this visceral riding experience. You were just so in touch with the ride, and right on down to the brakes.
Could you imagine like driving it like you did? You could never do it. You could never, like, it forces you to be a great driver.
Exactly. What was the thing that you were most excited about when you knew that the T-Rex was actually happening?
Even the truck that dropped it off, which was gorgeous, enclosed, just, you could tell it was a big deal.
That's cool.
And you felt like a big deal at that moment because this truck, like, it had lights on and all the hydraulic, going. And they pulled this thing out, and I just saw, and I said, this is like nothing I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
That's something.
Was just, the color was just popping in the sunlight. It was just like, okay, I get to have an experience that I've wanted since I was a kid. It was a dream come true. I couldn't wait to just get out. I never rode one. I didn't get to test drive it.
Yeah.
I ordered mine sight unseen, and I just could not wait to get behind the wheel and feel what this thing. I literally got it. They unloaded it before the truck bed was even up. I was gone.
Attaboy.
I was ready. I tipped the driver and I took off. I wanted to ride.
You're out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was so excited to go on a ride with my wife and my dog because just
very cool.
Just like you, like I came up on a motorcycle, and first of all, I don't know how you feel about it. I don't think it's a good idea to put a dog on a motorcycle. In the T-Rex, it feels much more reasonable. On a motorcycle, it's cool, but she's my backpack. She's behind me.
Yeah.
It's hard on my wrists, like that kind of things. So it's like we got to have that experience side by side together, and just like my wife is my ride or die, and we have such a good time together wherever we go. So I was really excited about that, and I'll tell you what, I was really anxious about this doghouse that I built for my T-Rex. So
very good work by you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, appreciate that. So I only had like the dimensions like from Google about like how long and how wide. So I wasn't actually 100% sure that it was going to fit like I thought it was, like I wanted to. So I was like, it was very, very nerve wracking because we had to like
check out David's work table too. The work he did with his logo. Very good work.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. Hey, what are two things about the T-Rex or owning one that caught you by surprise?
When you go up my driveway, it's about curb high. It has like a little like lip. All right. So it's got a little ramp to go up.
Okay.
And then the driveway goes up and then it goes into the garage. But there's like a lip there that you got to drive over. And I was like, wow, what if I can't get it up my driveway? It was super duper low to the ground. It is. It's ungodly low. And that's awesome. It's one of the best things about the T-Rex. But it is higher in the front than you think.
I was pleasantly surprised about the ride height.
100%.
I thought for sure I was going to be bottoming out on everything. Like I live in a rough place. Our roads are rough. We have high curbs. Everything we do out here when the weather is nice is in preparation for when the weather is not nice. So
of course,
everything out here is built for bad weather, including big curbs and stuff. And so I was really, really surprised about the ride height. I was actually surprised with how comfortable they are to go long distances. We jump in, we go for really, really long rides. Like 3 hours is sometimes a short ride.
Awesome.
Like that's
super cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We'd like to go out and explore and kind of get lost.
And I don't do 3 hour rides.
Oh, you don't?
Those of you, that's the difference of the Midwest versus the East Coast.
There's no cruise control. So if you take your mind off of the ride at any point, you're going to be going like 120 miles an hour before you even realize it. And it's so sensitive. Everything is so sensitive. Like the moment you peel your foot off that gas pedal, you're back down to 60 in like a blink.
If I was to say something negative,
hit it.
The turning radius.
Oh man, for sure. Yeah.
The turning radius is horrible.
Yes, it's really bad. That break-in period is so painful because it wants to go. You know, you're shifting at 4,000 and then 5,000 RPM, you know, and it's like that engine wants to live at 8,000, you know?
And you haven't even touched the power band.
You haven't even touched it. Yeah, you haven't even sniffed at it.
When you feel the power of something like this, and that engine's behind you, and you hear that roar and feel that power band for the first time, you're like, this should not be legal.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can't tell you how many times I've said that. I'm like, how is this?
Why not? You're like, there's no reason for this. This is just sick. It should not be legal. Yeah.
Do you think that the T-Rex is worth owning, even if you live in a region that demands that you take an off season? Why or why not?
I think 100% it's worth the purchase. Having an off season just makes you appreciate the riding season.
And unlike a boat or a two-wheeled motorcycle, the ride season on a T-Rex, because of its platform, I feel is a little bit longer than your normal toy. You can extend it just a little bit.
3 season.
So how did you prepare for your T-Rex for off-season downtime? Did you do anything special?
I saw your video on winterizing.
Oh, cool.
You know, I always reach out to people. You always want to put your bike away clean. I mean, that's number one. You want to make sure you do it like a deep cleaning. I tighten the chain, obviously. I top off my fluids and everything before winter. Right before the riding season, I'll change everything again. The chain will get readjusted. It'll get re-lubed. The fluids, again, checked and topped off. Check the brakes, you know. You use horse stall mats. I think you said you put your tires on.
I was going to put mine up on jack stands, and
thank you.
I had it up, and I couldn't. It took forever to do it too. Because I was just being super meticulous and trying to be very careful, and it's a very precarious kind of operation. And once it was on the stands, I was like, it was such a hard no.
Well, you're looking at because you have to put it on the shock, right? On the swing arm, and you're watching it.
Yeah, and then, but once it's up, it's up. So, you know, I don't know about you, but, you know, there's been a couple of days this month that I probably could have taken it out, even though it's technically the off season. There's been a couple of really nice days, and if it was up on jack stands, that's just not even a possibility.
Not even a chance.
Danny, are there any modifications or repairs that you're going to be making before next season?
I do have a full windshield. Thank you, Duran. I am ordering an M4 exhaust.
I have M4s on my T-Rex, and I am just completely taken back by the sound. I love these M4s. What are you looking forward to most for the upcoming ride season?
I've never ridden with another person on a T-Rex before. I think riding with a group at least once this ride season is a goal that I would love to just ride with another rider. At least one.
I love all the adventures that you get to go, like even while you're out. You know, the ride is an adventure, but when you're out, you never go to the gas station if you don't have more than 10 minutes because somebody's going to ask you some questions and you want to take the time and answer them. And the T-Rex has put me in touch with so many wonderful people. I would have never known you. So I'm super grateful for that. Like, you know, you know, just all the friends that you make and the community, you know, Danny and I became fast friends just talking T-Rex.
Because it's a small niche of just great people. You and I started at the same time. So, like, you know, when you come in with somebody, you get that connection.
Yeah, we're on the come up. It's pretty cool.
We're on the come up, buddy.
And next year we'll be like the veterans.
That's right. We might be able to help somebody else out.
Hey, you never know. You never know. Thank you so much for taking so much time and doing this with me. Like,
David, I hope we could do it again, man. I love this. I love talking about my T-Rex. If I can't be riding it right now, at least we're talking
about it. If you've made it this far in the video, I want to thank you for watching. Please comment below on any of the topics that we talked about. And as always, be nice and ride safely. See you out there.